Hi, friends. Welcome to Law Chat with Girija. My name is Girija Patel. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I am a podcaster. I am an educator. I am a businesswoman. I am an entrepreneur, and I'm a lawyer. I truly believe in the power of mentorship through storytelling, and that's what Law Chat is all about. So whether you are in 6 months or 10 years of business experience, we can all learn from each other's experiences because we face the same challenges and we have the victories and we have mistakes that we're all making. So why not lean into them and know that we're going to be fine and we're going to be okay and we're going to be inspired. And of course, this is Law Chat with Girija, so we will be talking about some law at some point during the conversation. And if you love what you hear today, which I know you will, then subscribe to Law Chat with Girija and share the love. So grab your coffee, sparkling water, or wine, and let's dive in to the next inspiring mentorship session. Hi, friends. Welcome to Law Chat with Girija. Today's solo episode is going to be hosted by me, Girija Patel, your legal BFF. And on today's episode, I'm actually going to be walking back through time and talking about the various tips that we have received throughout the year of 2021 from our guest experts that came in about time management and about goal setting and some other amazing tips on how to run your business really well so that we can prep ourselves for 2022. I am super excited about this because I loved every single guest that came on the show this past year and even the year before. I'm just always so amazed at the quality and the experts that are coming in and just how wonderful they are as just human beings. And so I just feel really blessed. And I feel really blessed to have you as an audience listening in, tuning in, giving me feedback, sharing, and caring. Because at the end of the day, the more we share, the more we care, we're making our community better. We're building a stronger community around us and for the future as well. So with that being said, though, before I dive in and walk through time, I wanted to also ask you for a favor, ask you for a request. And I normally ask this all the time, but this really means a lot. I really want Law Chat with Girija to be on the top podcast for business owners and for entrepreneurs. And the only way that can happen is if you, as the listener, will subscribe and also share Law Chat with your friends and your family and tune in, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on any place that you listen to your podcast. So please subscribe and share and tag GBP Law or Law Chat with Girija. I'd love to say hi to you as well. And I'd love to get your feedback. So with that being said, let's get started. So when we're thinking about the next year that's coming up, there's a lot of things that come into our brains, a lot of ideas that we are hopefully wanting to achieve and dreams that we're wanting to realize as well. A lot of times, though, life is also happening alongside all of that. And so one of the big questions that I'm always getting is, how do you do it? And quite frankly, I don't do it all. And also, I am not doing everything that I want to do that I wish I could do at the moment. But that all goes to time management and that all goes to goal setting and also knowing what the priority is at the time and then shifting things around. So you're showing yourself grace and flexibility and adaptability as well. So as we walk through this last year and I go through some of the different podcast episodes that I've already recorded, I felt like there were so many this entire year that, I have over 50 podcast recordings with guests, and then so many more sprinkled in of just the solo episodes that are out there. So much information has been given. So it was really tough for me to actually filter out the exact ones that I thought were very relevant to what we're talking about because there's so many out there. But I am going to be giving some shout outs to some particular ones because I truly believe that they are really helpful in the whole goal setting and then time management as well. And number one thing that I want everyone to realize is that the idea of goal setting is not to be militant with yourself. The idea is to put it to paper. So now what is here in your mind is actually written in paper and you're manifesting it in a different place where you can see it over and over again, where you can be reminded about it and where you can actually say to yourself, yes, I have this dream. And now I'm going to run after it. And now I'm going to work towards it. And now I'm going to make it happen. Dreams are wonderful, but they are just dreams until you actually do the work to make them a reality, right? And so we can write the goals down And in order to get from the goals to the realization, there's a lot of hard work that comes in between that. And that hard work also requires some type of skill sets of figuring things out. And it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, especially if you may not be a person that is super disciplined with their time. And not to say that I had to really learn how to be more disciplined with my time, because as seasons change, our priorities change and the way we're looking at life changes. And sometimes, our time management also changes. And so while I was super crazy in undergrad and law school and everything in between, when I had my children, I became more relaxed. And then when I had to revamp, I had to figure it out properly. How can I achieve all the goals that I have for myself, all my dreams, but in a way that is practical, but also that is manageable by me, that I can actually do it and not feel overwhelmed and not feel guilty and not try to beat myself down because I didn't achieve it. And that too was a process. It's a mindset process, but it's also an actual action process. The first episode that I want to talk about is with my coach, Lonnie Jackson. She is a coach that is serving mompreneurs, but really she's serving entrepreneurs. She is serving women who are trying to reach their goals, but at the same time, juggling and managing everything else in their life as well. And it's episode number 51, Take Back Time, How to Productively Structure Your Week Using the MOM method. I was blown away. And she is my coach and we talk about these things, but I don't think we ever sat down and really talked about the mom method until this episode itself. And the idea is you don't start off by saying, this is all the stuff that I need to do for work. You start off by saying, this is the kind of life I want to live. And that's where your starting point is. Your starting point is not, these are all my work things that I need to get done and all my work goals. No. And I love that we start at a point of, how do I envision my life? How do I envision the life that I want to live, rather than starting it at a different point? Because ultimately we are all trying to work towards living a life that is joyful, a life that is aligned with our values, a life that is aligned with the visions that we have for ourselves. And there's no need to be on the struggle bus, because we don't need to do that. We can actually work towards that in a way where we are prioritizing the calmness that we need in our life and also the way that we're running that life. So if you go back to it, you will hear her mom method, which is mindset, operations, and moving forward. And it is to get productive in a healthy way, a way that is attainable and a way that is manageable, but in a way that is also practical for your life. Everyone's life is different. The number of children we have, or other dependents that we might have in our life, or the season that we're in right now. And so it's really acknowledging, taking that first step, taking back time is acknowledging how the things are right now and how you want them to be, and not feeling guilty about being tired or overwhelmed, because it happens. It's normal. Not feeling guilty about the things that you are missing that you want to do, because here's the time for you to actually put them into your calendar and to make that part of the lifestyle that you want to live. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss your child's game, put that in there. It's part of your lifestyle, because we're building a lifestyle. We're not building just a business, because our businesses and our personal life are inevitably intertwined. So you can't run away from it. But what we can do is really integrate them in such a way where it's a lifestyle for us now. And then after that, you start by determining how much you want to work per week. So once you've filled in the blanks of all the other buckets of your life that are important, your family life, your friend life, your social life, you filled those parts in, things that are super prioritizing to you and very important to you and part of what makes you also a joyful person, or what fills your cup. Put that into your calendar for the week or for the month, if you're looking at it that way. And then look at the things of, how much do I really want to work this week? So as an entrepreneur, it's easier to kind of have that question. I believe that. And only because you are in charge of the plan. So if you want to have a 20-hour work week, those 20 hours will be productive, because you're going to be breaking it down in such a way where you are making that needle move, and many needles move, not just one. That you need to figure out, how many hours do you want to work in the week? How many days? What days do you want to work in the week? What days do you want to take off? What days do you need to do something else in the morning or do something else in the afternoon? And put that in your schedule. It was life-changing for me back in April when I started doing this. I didn't understand it until one day. It was the end of the year for the school year. And I was the president of our school's PTO at that time. And I just had so much going on with work and with my other obligations that I had in life with regards to like being the PTO, and then also some other extracurricular activities that I engage myself in. And so there's a lot happening, and then a lot of social obligations. And I was just feeling beyond overwhelmed. And I don't know about you, but I also get overwhelmed with end of the year gifting, and just, I love to do it, but it just overwhelms me because there's just so much to do. And it just all happens all at once. And so I kind of had a little breakdown with Lonnie, and I was just like, okay, I don't get it. I was in tears. I just did not know what I was doing anymore. And I just felt like so clouded. And it wasn't that I didn't have clarity or I didn't know what my goals were, but I was feeling overwhelmed. And I was feeling so much overwhelmed that I couldn't handle it anymore. So Lonnie actually sat down with me and we did this, and it was life-changing for me. I looked at my weekly, monthly calendar and I said, you know what, Lonnie, I really want Fridays off. I want Fridays to be the day where I can choose to do nothing, choose to do all my personal errands, choose to do pour over work that I have time to do. But I just don't want it to be a day where I'm actually assigning my work stuff or anything that just feels like, oh, I really don't feel like doing it right now. And so I was able to take that Friday. Okay, now I want to work so many hours in the week. Okay. And then Mondays are, I want it to be where I'm doing team meetings, and I can focus on work stuff and get ready for the week and really knock things out with emails and everything, like all those tasks that are sitting there, to keep it light. So on Sunday, I'm not dreading the week, but I'm looking forward to the Monday. I'm looking forward to the ease that my Monday starts with, but I'm also looking forward to making the Monday productive. And so Wednesdays are my podcasting days and the days where I'm recording, but then also the days where I can get client work out of the way as well. And so when I was able to actually look at my week in such a way where I'm like, okay, this is the way I want my life to be. I need to make sure that I am done working by a certain time. I need to make sure that I am working productively between these times as well, and getting the stuff I need to get done so I can make the needle move forward. And it was life changing. And so another tip for the mindset operations and moving forward, the mom method, is figure out the high and low energy points of your day and schedule your tasks accordingly. The high energy points where you're like, okay, I'm more creative at this time. Put in your creative tasks during that time. The times where you're just, I just need some downtime, but I can still sit on my computer and send out some emails while I'm doing that. Put those tasks during that time. And so you can brain dump on the side everything that you have and all the things that you need to do and categorize them into do now, do later, and do never. And Lonnie goes into details about this in that episode. It's episode number 51. It's fantastic. She has so many gems coming out of that episode, so much wisdom coming out of that episode. And another thing that's very important to me that I talked about in one of my solo episodes was episode number 58, is how to define your values and the ways to align them in your business. I did a whole value, course, for lack of a better way of saying this, but I was with a coach who helped figure out my values and my value system. And it's not something I didn't know because it's absolutely a part of who I am, but it helped me actually see it in writing. It actually helped me figure it out more definitely, that these are my values and these are my non-negotiables. And then this is what makes me tick. This is what makes me move forward. This is what makes me just say, this is a deal breaker. And so it's really nice to have the value system in alignment with the way you're even scheduling your day or your week, and what the tasks are that you're going to take and which tasks you're not going to take, or which are your priorities, your buckets of priorities. And when you're looking at your week or your month, because then you know that these values are important to me. Family is one of my biggest values. And so for me, doing things with my children, going to their games, going to their XYZ stuff, whatever it might be, that's important to me. So that absolutely goes into my calendar immediately. And then I start adding some other things to it. And then, of course, making sure that discipline is there and, doing things for myself also where I need to feel healthy, because when I feel unhealthy, I start getting like things start happening in my mind. And so, what makes you go crazy. And then you also know what makes you be sane and fills your cup. And so having an idea of your values and having a pulse on them really helps. It helps with the alignment. It also helps with the synergy of how your life is moving, and you really are able to build a lifestyle that is aligned with who you are and aligned with the way you or your family is running. And so it's super important to do that. That was episode number 58. And I go through the different steps in episode number 58 on how to even figure out your values and how to define them. And literally everything starts with a notebook. Even with the mom method, everything starts with a notebook. Write down all the tasks that you have that generally come up during the week, your regular tasks that are coming up. Write down the things that you want to do during the week. And again, even with the values, write down your values. Write down the times when you felt amazing about something, or write down the time where you felt like this just did not sit well with me. When you're really looking at your values and then integrating them into your life in the way you show up at work or the way you show up in your personal life, you will feel more authentic with yourself. You will feel more confident and in charge of what's happening rather than just succumbing to whatever the situations might be, or being reactionary as well. I hate to interrupt this awesome conversation, but I have to stop and talk with you about the number one thing I'm asked about by entrepreneurs: contracts. They're vital to any business relationship and to protect your business. But I also know that entrepreneurs, especially when you're starting up, money is tight. But I would never want you to compromise on a strong legal foundation. So enter yourcontractbuddy.com, a website created by me with contract templates created and drafted by me and fellow industry partners. They're ready to use and easy to plug in immediately, and they are not restricted to any specific state. So yourcontractbuddy.com is sponsoring this episode, and you and your listener can get 10% off right now with code LAWCHAT. Yes, you heard me right. 10% off right now with code LAWCHAT. And now back to our awesome conversation. The next episode that you need to check out is with Tawana Taylor. It is reducing the overwhelm in a launch with the done method. I don't know about you, but whenever I've done launch, it can be stressful, especially when things are not working the right way. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the emails are not going the right way during the process. And so Tawana, when I spoke to Tawana, I felt this overwhelm of zen coming out of her. Her energy is next level. She is so gentle. She is so new. She teaches you with so much grace and love for yourself. Nothing I can do but show myself love. Like, it is amazing. But the done method is so cool. It is, you have to, number one, define the D in the done. It is define the 5 W's of your business goals: who, what, where, when, and why. The acronym DONE stands for define, own, nurture, and execute. And it is literally one of the best episodes that I love to refer back to when I'm also working on stuff, because it truly helps you recenter yourself and realign when you feel a little bit lost, especially during launches. And one of the best things that came out of that episode was no. No is not no, like stop, but NO stands for next opportunity. She is awesome. She teaches everything about how to walk through the done method, and where you are defining the 5 W's, the who, what, where, when, and why of your launch. And I truly feel that this is not just a launch thing. It can apply to so many other areas in your business. And so number 50 episode with Tawana was fantastic, not just for launches, but is also fantastic for, your goals and, for the next year coming up, how you want to achieve those goals. You own it, and then you nurture it, and then you execute it. And I love how she said, as entrepreneurs, you shouldn't be booked, busy, and broke. Again, you shouldn't be booked, busy, and broke. So what does that mean? That means that we need to make sure that we are integrating our lifestyle, integrating the way and how we see ourselves working in a way that brings us joy, that fills our cup, but also helps to make the needle keep moving. It doesn't mean don't do work. It doesn't mean that you can't have a 40-hour week if that's what you want. None of that. It's what it means is that how are you aligning your values, the way you see your lifestyle, the way you want to live your life, and the work that you are doing with the people that you want to do it for the purpose that you want to do it. And how is that looking? How do you show up for it? And how is it showing up for you? Another episode that I absolutely love is number 46 with Michelle Loretta. She talks about the importance of a business plan and financial strategy. She goes into how numbers tell a story. They don't lie, but they can really tell a story about your business. So she talks about financial strategies, why they're important for your business, how to integrate them into your business, and how to use them as strategies, as tools, rather than something that you're just running away from, and also something that you have zero idea about. I know that's a common thing. And the reason is because sometimes we just don't want to deal with something that seems very complicated, or that just you don't want to know the reality of the numbers. But it's so important because then you can actually allow yourself to grow and allow yourself to expand without the fear that can I or should I? And she also talks about the importance of a business plan. Now, if you have ideas out there, if you're starting a new business, or if you are diversifying your current business, or you're adding another product model to your business, anything that would require money going out, expenses happening, develop a business plan for it. Business plans don't have to be super formal. They don't have to be very complicated. What they have to be is ideas that you're putting out there, how you're going to do it, how much money is going to take, what your goals are, how you see this happening, what's the projections, and what are some issues that you might be having? How are you going to tackle those issues and overcome them? What are some other challenges that you might have? What marketing you might be doing? So the 4 elements of a business plan that she talks about are vision, marketing, operations, and finances. Putting a business plan in place helps your vision get clarity. Your number speaks a lot about your business profitability, and you need to put in the contracts made by business relationships a lot more functional, efficient, and systemized. So when you have an idea, when you have a focus, and when you have a goal, it is far easier to accomplish what your vision is when you have it written down and you have a plan of action. So a business plan really helps you develop that plan of action. And it also inadvertently helps you develop some goals to make the needles move and to make that vision become a reality. So it was super helpful. And she also has this amazing resource on her website as well, alongside Lonnie and Tawana. Everybody has awesome resources. So if you go back to the show notes for this, I'm going to be linking the show notes to the other episodes as well, so you can see their resources. But just, these episodes are extremely helpful if you are building a business right now, or if you are adding new ideas to your business, or even if you're just maybe in year 10 of your business, but you're just like, what do I do now? Where do I go? I feel a little stumped. I feel like I'm plateauing. Things happen. You could be a seasoned entrepreneur, seasoned business person, and still feel in a slump. So these episodes were extremely helpful. And one of my last episodes that I'm going to share with you today is with Carrie Roberts. It's number 41. What an online business manager does and how to simplify your business operations. Carrie Roberts does a fantastic job jumping into why system operations are so important, and procedures. They're so important, the SOPs of your business, standardized operating procedures in your business. And the reason is because it helps you streamline, it helps you scale, it helps you grow. And she talks about why it's important to hire maybe an online business manager, or even other team members in your business, and to share the workload on your table. And rather than you doing everything, you can delegate to others who can do it better than you, or who can do it quicker than you, which allows you as a CEO to work on things that are revenue earning directly, to work on things that only you can work on, and not what others can do, but then you're just putting your time into something, but it doesn't really require that. So she talks about why OBMs are important, but she also talks about why having standardized processes and these systems in place. Carrie Roberts is, she has amazing templates on her website as well to help with the SOPs in your business. It was so wonderful to talk to her and get the insight about how to create a business that is scalable and the systems and operations that need to be in place and why they're so important. So today I shared with you the episodes that I feel will be extremely helpful in your tool belt as entrepreneurs, but also when you're planning for 2022. It's episode number 50 with Tawana Taylor, episode number 51 with Lonnie Jackson, 58 with me, and episode number 41 with Carrie Roberts, and episode 46 with Michelle Loretta. Go to the show notes, look at these episodes, rehear them if you haven't heard them yet. And again, remember, subscribe, share the love on Instagram or other social platforms, tag GBP Law. And really, if we can get the numbers up, more and more people can hear these fantastic guests that are coming on Law Chat with Girija, that are sharing their journeys, that are storytelling, but then also cheering everybody on along the way and giving so much motivation and inspiration. So cheers to 2022. Cheers to you. And I will catch you again. Thank you so much for joining Law Chat with Girija. I just love these kind of conversations that are motivating, inspiring, but truthful, raw, and honest about all of the challenges, all of the victories, all of the triumphs, picking ourselves back up again. I just can't think of a better way to get mentorship but Law Chat with Girija. If this was helpful to you or this was inspiring to you, please share the love. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to this channel. You can also share this with your community by taking a screenshot and posting it on your social media and tagging GBP Law. When you do that, a lot more people will be able to see this video that not only benefited you, but also can benefit them as well. So let's share that love and let's share that inspiration. And if you want more information about what I do and other resources, go check out gbplaw.com or yourcontractbuddy.com. And I look forward to seeing you next time.